Hi, kindergartners. Welcome back. We are on chapter 14, which is called The Winged Monkeys. And this is where our journey back to the Emerald City begins again. Our characters have defeated the Wicked Witch. They melted her. And they left the land of the Winkies in the last chapter. And the one thing that is kind of interesting is at the last minute, while Dorothy was sort of loading up her basket with food, she saw the golden cap. And she grabbed it and decided it fit her head and she thought it was pretty. So she wants to wear it. Now, the golden cap is not in the movie at all. So it's kind of interesting the role that it plays in the storybook because it's not there when you watch the movie. So let's read chapter 14, The Winged Monkeys, and see if we get to meet them once again. You will remember that there was no road, not even a pathway, between the castle of the Wicked Witch and the Emerald City. When the four travelers went in search of the witch, she had seen them coming, and so she sent the winged monkeys to bring them to her. It was much harder to find their way back through the fields of buttercups and yellow daisies than it was to be carried. They knew, of course, they must go straight east. That means this way. So here's the Wicked Witch's castle. You can look on your map. Here. Oh, this one. So here's our map. And they were at the Wicked Witch's castle. But remember, they had been carried there by the winged monkeys. So they really have no idea how to get there. They know they have to go straight east, which is this direction, okay? So they're gonna have to travel straight east to get back to the Emerald City. They knew, of course, they must go straight east towards the rising sun, and they started off in the right direction. But at noon, when the sun was directly over their heads, they did not know which way was east or which way was west. And that was the reason they were now lost in the great fields. They kept on walking, however, and at night the moon came out and shone brightly. So they lay upon the sweet-smelling yellow flowers and slept soundly until morning. All but, of course, the Scarecrow and the Tin Woodman. The next morning, the sun was behind a cloud, and they started on as if they were quite sure of which way they were going. Well, if we walk far enough, said Dorothy, we shall sometime come to some place, I am sure. But day by day by day passed, and they saw nothing but yellow fields. The Scarecrow even started to grumble a bit. We have surely lost our way, he said, and unless we find it again in time to reach the Emerald City, I shall never get my brains. Oh, nor I my heart, declared the Tin Woodman. It seems to me I can scarcely wait till I get to Oz, and you must admit this is a very long journey. Well, you see, said the Cowardly Lion with a whimper, I haven't even the courage to keep tramping forever without getting anywhere at all. Then suddenly Dorothy lost heart. She sat down on the grass and she looked at her companions. And they sat down and looked at her. And Toto found that for the first time in his life, he was even too tired to chase a butterfly that flew past his head. So he put out his tongue and panted, and looked at Dorothy as if to ask, what should we do next? Well, suppose we call the field mice, she suggested. They could probably tell us the way to the Emerald City. Oh, to be sure they could, cried the Scarecrow. Why didn't we think of that before? Remember the field mice who helped them get out of the poppy field? Dorothy blew the little whistle she had always carried about her neck, and the queen of the field mice had given to her. In a few minutes, they heard the pattering of tiny feet, and many of the small gray mice came running up to her. Among them was the queen herself, who asked in her squeaky little voice, "What can I do for my friends?" Oh, thank you for coming. We've lost our way, said Dorothy. Can you tell us where the Emerald City is? Oh, certainly, answered the Queen. But it is a great way off, for you've been going the wrong way this whole time. Then she noticed Dorothy's golden cap and said, Why don't you just use the charm of the cap? Call the winged monkeys. They'll carry